Yo, what's up everybody, my name is Emil aka Stand 'em Up. You may know me from Instagram, you might not, whatever. Let's just get into the video. This time we're going to be talking about UFC Fight Night, Ankalaev versus Walker. This is going to be a early prediction. It's still 2023, but I wanted to make some content because there's not a lot of things to talk about, so I wanted to get back on YouTube and do this instead. So Magomed Ankalaev versus Johnny Walker, this is the rematch we needed because some very weird stuff happened at UFC 294. Johnny Walker could not or could continue. I don't know what happened. The doctor made a mistake, Johnny Walker made a mistake. It was very weird, but this is a very good card. Besides the main event, we have Nicolo versus Cap, another rematch. Jim Miller versus Benitez is going to be fire. Fier versus Shon for a women's fight is going to be fire. Simone versus Bautista, good. This one is good. It's alright. Semmelsberg is fun. McGee versus Banos is fun. Basharat versus LaPlante is going to be fun. And Joshua Van is a monster. He's 21 years old. I'm pretty sure he's 21. Let me check real quick. Yeah, he just turned 22 in October. This guy is a monster. He is already 2-0 in the UFC, and he's shown a lot of improvement in those fights. But like, he's so good. He came in short notice against the GOAT Zhalgas and still managed to win the fight pretty convincingly as well. So this fight card was supposed to have 15 fights on it. A few fights fell out, few fighters got replaced. Bondar got replaced by Joshua Van, another short notice one. Gabriel Santos got replaced by Gene Silva. Hughes got replaced by Semmelsberger. That's a shame. I would have loved to see Hughes fight. The only fight that did not get a replacement is Yana Santos versus Norma Dumont, which, if we're going to be honest, isn't a big problem. For some people it's even a plus, and I am some of those people. But yeah, let's not talk too much about that. Let's not talk too much negatively about this. So let's just start off with the first fight of the night, which is going to be Tom Nolan versus Nicolas Mada. So Nicolas Mada has a lot of hype around him. He's 23 years of age. He's 6'3" for 155. That's crazy. He is a big favorite, which, you know, that makes sense. He's 6-0, undefeated. Last 4 fights won all by KO, TKO. So this guy has some power, and I expect him to finish Nicolas Mada. Nicolas Mada, you know, has an iffy record in the UFC. I mean, with the Dana White Contender Series one, you can say that he's 2-1, but he's basically 1-3 in the UFC. Last fight, he was about to get stopped, but the referee had a premature stoppage, which you know, gave him, you know, helped him out. This became a no contest when in reality he was getting outstruck and almost strangled by Trey Ogden. So you know, he got help there a bit, but Tom Nolan, you know, he's going to win. This guy is good, he's young, he's hungry, and he's just a bad matchup for Nicolas Mada. Next up, we got Felipe Bunes versus Joshua Van. This is going to be at flyweight. Joshua, like I said, a monster, an absolute beast. His striking is very clean. His body work is insane. This guy's boxing is very good. He started wrestling around a year ago, if I'm not mistaken, and he's like already really good at it. Zhalgas did everything to try and take him down. Didn't really manage to do so. This guy's get-up games also is fantastic. So he's definitely the better striker here. From what I've seen, Felipe Bunes is also a good all-around, you know, Brazilian fighter, training with the Pitbull brothers. So, you know, he has a fire in him. But I'm going with Joshua Van. I feel like he's the better striker. He's a younger guy. He is the guy that will improve himself better each time, and I feel like he'll just get it done here, probably by decision, because Felipe Bunes is still a good fighter. Now, a fight that will not go to decision is Weston Wilson versus Jean Silva. Jean is a -800 favorite. That's kind of crazy. Those are like bone nickel numbers, but honestly, it makes sense. Weston Wilson is just not a good fighter. He tries to imitate Wonderboy in the striking, doesn't really go his way. He was on a 3-fight win streak against not the greatest fighters, like 9-19, 4-3, and 8-5. but came into the UFC on short notice, got KO'd by Brito. I thought it was submission, but whatever. Got just dominated by Brito, and he honestly only got a chance because it was short notice and the UFC needed a body to fill in against Brito. Now Jean Silva did win his contender series bout against Kevin Fallejos, 11-0, 9-9, not the greatest record, but this guy's actually good, actually skilled, and actually belongs in the UFC, and the odds just show it. So the only thing that's in the favor of Wilson is his length. He's 6'1", he has 4-inch reach advantage, but besides that, John Silva will just beat him up wherever he wants. He'll just win. That's all I have to say, honestly. This at featherweight, by the way, so Weston Wilson being 6'1" is kind of crazy, and John Silva being 5'7" is normal. So, yeah, there's that. So we got Farid Basharat versus Taylor Lapilus next. Two guys on a good streak. Well, obviously Farid is undefeated. Lapilus is very good as well. Let's see what the streak is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fight win streak. Before that, I lost in 2018, last loss, so over 5 years ago, which is kind of crazy. But he isn't too active himself. Those are 6 fights in over 5 years, so that's not really something I look for when I'm predicting a fight. Farid Basharat, on the other hand, has been fairly active himself. Pretty sure he had 2 fights in the last year, but him and his brother are so good. These guys are good grapplers, good wrestlers, good strikers, very clean in everything they do. They barely get hit, and in my opinion, it's a very unpopular opinion, but I feel like Farid Basharat is the better brother of the Basharat brothers. A lot of people are very high on Javid, but for me, I feel like Farid is just a bit better. The ground game is very good. Javid is more of a striker, but if you pit those two against each other, I feel like Farid will be able to just win the fight. But that's not what this is about. They're brothers, they love each other, so just a dumb little comparison. But in my opinion, Farid is the better fighter here as well. He has a striking defense, striking offense, and mostly the grappling offense to win this fight. Taylor is a good striker, but I feel like he doesn't do as much as Farid do, and doesn't do it as well as Farid does. So I feel like Farid will take this one by decision. So there's that. Marcus McGee versus Gaston Bolaños. This is a fun fight. Gaston Bolaños is a good striker. I'm pretty sure he was very accomplished in Taekwondo. He was fighting for Bellator for some time. I don't know why he got released, but he wasn't fighting too often. Came into the UFC. In my opinion, it's a bit of a weird signing, but it's a hype signing. It's not really a guy that will go for the title. 31 years of age. Last fight was against Aaron Phillips 7 months ago. Aaron Phillips himself is not a good fighter, so they threw him to Bolaños just to get him a win. On the other hand, Marcus McGee is very good. Made his short notice debut against Jordan Newson, submitted him there, then also knocked out JP Bass. 2 finishes in 2 fights. So this guy is trying to stay active. He is big, he's good, he's a good grappler, good striker as well, and in my opinion, he'll just take Bolaños to the ground and finish him there by submission. Next up, we got Matthew Semmelsberger versus Preston Parsons. This is an interesting fight. Semmelsberger, not the best 5-on-10, 2-3 in his last 5, but fighting pretty good opposition. Last lost to Uros Medic when he was winning. Lost to Jeremiah Wells in a very weird fight. And then lost to Alex Morono when I'm pretty sure almost knocked him out too. But Preston Parsons, man, let's see. I'm pretty sure it's 1-2 in the UFC. Yeah, he is. Lost his debut on short notice against Daniel Rodriguez. It happens. Daniel was on a big streak back then. Evan Elder beat him, and then lost to Trevin Giles. Not a really good look in my opinion. This is a close fight, but I'll go with Preston Parsons. I feel like his wrestling will get it done against Semmelsberger. Semmelsberger's stand-up game is not that great, and if Parsons will go to the well with the takedowns, I feel like he will win, which he always does. So next up is Arlovski versus Waldo Cortez Acosta. Waldo is a minus 400 favorite, which is interesting, but yeah, that does make sense. Arlovski, although he was on a pretty good streak there, let's see, 4 fight winning streak, my bad, but after that lost to Marcos Rogerio de Lima. So did Waldo, by the way, by decision, but Arlovski got done pretty quickly in the first round. Don't tell Mace, my bad guys, but Don't Tell Mace knocked him out as well in his last fight half a year ago, which is a really bad look, because Don't Tell Mace should not be winning against you and by any way, and if he does by KO, that just makes me worried about you, man. I feel like Waldo Cortez Acosta will do the same. I feel like he's the better striker than Arlovski, better striker than Don't Tell Mace, better grappler as well. He'll just do whatever he wants, basically. If he feels like just jabbing his face off, he will. If he feels like finishing him in the first round, he will as well. So minus 400, it makes sense. Of course, Arlovski, it's heavyweight, he can land something, and he's gotten pretty good at this point, but he's too old, his chin is far too gone, and I feel like Waldo will just take advantage of it, unfortunately. Next up is Phil Hughes versus Bruno Ferrera. I'm going to be keeping this one short, guys. Phil Hughes is the better fighter. He has better striking, better wrestling, probably better BJJ too. This guy is so good. This guy's amazing, but his chin is nowhere to be seen. You touch him anywhere and he's done. You touch his knee and he gets knocked out to the chin. It's you shadow box in front of him and he's done. Like, this guy is so good. But once you touch his chin, it's done. Unfortunately, that's the truth. So Bruno Ferrera, he's a little fucking beast dog, they call him, which makes sense. He has a lot of power, and I feel like Phil Hughes will just be scared of that, and not scared but cautious of it, and it will make him a different fighter than he normally is, and he will get knocked out in the first round. That's what I'm going to say. Phil Hughes is a beast. He's so good, but the chin is just nowhere to be found, and that's such a shame, because this guy could easily be in the top 10 if he had the chin. But yeah, that's life. Next up, also on the main card, Ricky Simone versus Mario Bautista. This is a very interesting fight of two grapplers. Ricky Simone is 5'6", Bautista's 5'9". Why I mentioned this is because I feel like Bautista could make use of it on the striking, but I feel like Simone is the better and stronger grappler, and also has, honestly, it's, in my opinion, he's a bit better on the feet. He has a lot of power, good overhands and whatnot. He showed that against Rafael Assunção, but also against what's this kid's name? I forgot his name. Let's see, Jack Shore. Yeah, he knocked him down there. So he's pretty good. He has a lot of power and a lot of a lot of physical power, more of because of he's such a wrestler. He has so much raw power that it translates in the punches as well. The technique might not be crazy, but he does have the power. Bautista is a good grappler. In my opinion, he lost the fight versus Damon Blackshear, so Ricky Simone will show him that there's levels to this. He is the favorite here, and that makes sense. Next up, we got Caitlin Fier versus Macy Chiasson. Caitlin Fier is a big favorite. This is a bit surprising because Macy is honestly pretty good, although her last fight was a loss versus Aldana. A fight she was winning, by the way, but like with some up kick to the liver or whatever, that was very weird. It knocked her down, knocked her out. She could not fight after that. That was almost a year and a half ago, but yeah, she's a big 135. I'm not sure if she can make the weight. Honestly, I see 139 and a half here. I'm pretty sure she missed weight against Aldana, but she's a big underdog here. In my opinion, it's surprising, but I feel like Fier will win this one. She is a good striker. She's a good grappler. She's big. Macy Chasson is a bit bigger, bit taller, but I feel like Fier is just a better fighter overall. Then next up we got Jim Miller versus Gabriel Benitez. This is an interesting one. This will definitely be a finish. That's all I know. Gabriel Benitez, he's known to have the craziest kicks ever. Like in his weight class, he has the craziest kicks, like a lot of power. Even his trainer Javier Mendez from American Kickboxing Academy has stated that he thinks that Gabriel Benitez has the hardest kicks he's ever had to train with, hold pads for. And he's trained guys like Luke Rockhold, Islam Makhachev, Khabib Nurmagomedov, Daniel Cormier. Come on, bro, those are kicking legends. No, but seriously, Javier Mendez has trained a lot of champions like Luke Rockhold, also Leon Edwards as well, and he still says that Gabriel Benitez has the best kicks, which is kind of crazy. But he's 2-3 in his last 5. Let's see, lost to Omar Morales, beat Justin James, who's out of the UFC. Morales also out of the UFC. Billy Quarantillo, finished him. David Onama finished him bad. Charlie Ontiveros, he finished him, but Ontiveros is not good. Like, I'm sorry, I'm going to say this. Ontiveros actually is not bad, but I feel like he just quits. He has some crazy talent. He has some crazy striking, but not UFC level, obviously. But he just quits. But Benitez beat him. On the other hand, Jim Miller, 8'10", Jim Miller, 40 years of age. So the chin isn't really there. It's still alright, but not prime. He lost to Alexander Hernandez, but that was an alright loss. Beat Eric Gonzalez by overhand left. Beat Nicholas Mauda as well, who's on this card. Beat Donald Cerrone by submission, out of prime Cerrone. And then last fight, he beat Jesse Butler. Jesse Butler is not a good fighter himself, but he beat him by KO TKO, which is pretty cool. This guy still has a lot of power. He's actually gotten more and more aggressive and more violent since he's gotten older, since he's found out that he has Lyme disease. But yeah, he knocked out Jesse Butler in 23 seconds, which is insane. But I feel like he'll knock Gabriel Benitez out as well. Benitez doesn't have good defense. He does have good offense, but Jim Miller is such a veteran. He knows what to do, knows how to defend, and he'll just get a win here, in my opinion. Now let's go to the co-main event of the evening: Matheus Nicolo versus Manel Kape. This is going to be a very interesting fight. I love flyweight fights. They have fought before, like almost 2 years ago, I think. It's been 2 years and 9 months ago. Almost 3 years ago already. That's crazy. I felt like Manel Kape has just been in the UFC for less than 2 years, but here we are. 3 months ago, Kape won against a short-nosed opponent because Kai Kara-France did not show up, unfortunately. Beat David Dvorak impressively, beat Jalga Shumagulov impressively, beat Odi Osborne impressively as well. Before losing to Nicolo, he also lost to Pantoja in a very controversial close fight. Still lost, but showed very good boxing, very good striking overall, and showed that he can stand with the champion. Nicolo, on the other hand, so we can see he beat Manel Kape, beat Tim Elliott by a close decision, beat David Dvorak, then beat Matt Schnell by KO TKO. And after that, he lost to Brendan Royval by KO in the first round. It was a pretty bad KO 8 months ago now, so his chin is probably good now again. But against Manel Kape, man, I feel like Manel Kape just got robbed in that fight. He's the better fighter, in my opinion. He's the better boxer, better wrestler. His BJJ is very good too. He showed that against David Dvorak. Nicolo, his best path to victory would be trying to fight like he did in his last time. combinations like striking, wrestling, grappling, everything, and try and grapple him as much as possible, because Cobb is a weird guy that doesn't have that much output. I don't know why, but he doesn't have much output, but when he does, it's very significant. He has good boxing, he has good kicks, he has good wrestling, he has good BJJ, but he just doesn't show it that much, which is kind of weird. But in my opinion, he's the better fighter, and he will win this by decision, because Nicolo is still a tough fella. So here we are, the main event, Magomed Ankalaev versus Johnny Walker 2. Oh man, Ankalaev, I've just realized this. His last 2 fights have not had a winner. Jan Blachowicz by, it was a majority draw, and then also a no contest versus Johnny Walker. So this is the rematch from UFC 294, in which Magomed Ankalaev was, winning the fight against Johnny Walker in the first round. The striking was close, but then Ankalaev got him against the cage, controlled him there a bit, and then a illegal knee from Ankalaev made the doctor come in. Walker said that he was in the desert when asked where he was, which is, it's true. I hope you guys don't hear the rain. It's storming out here all of a sudden, but whatever. Johnny Walker wanted to fight but didn't show it enough to the doctor, to which the doctor said the fight is over. After that, there was some weird stuff happening, both guys acting like they wanted to fight each other, Walker acting like, hey, let's fight. Like, it was very weird. I don't like that. If you want to fight in the cage, and after that, before that, whatever, just act normal, bro. But yeah, I feel like in a 5-round fight, that does favor Ankalaev, but also I don't think that this fight will go 5 rounds. In my opinion, Ankalaev has good boxing. He can. There is a chance that he catches Johnny Walker when he tries to come in. That he just takes him down, a few shots of ground and pound, and Johnny Walker is out, because just like Phil Hawes's chin, Johnny Walker's chin is not the greatest. It seems like there's some improvements in his chin, but man, I will never forget the way he got knocked out by Jamal Hill. Or you guys seen that one clip of Johnny Walker getting knocked out like 5 times in 5 seconds? That was crazy. I'll probably show it in some highlight or whatever, but that was insane, and that will never get out of my head. That clip will never go out of my head, and that's why I will never be able to bet on Johnny Walker. Never. This guy can be winning 14 minutes 59 seconds of the fight over a 3-round fight, or 24 minutes and 59 seconds over a 5-round fight, and just get touched with a jab and it's done. You cannot bet on this guy, bro. His first loss in the UFC, guys, this is crazy, but his first loss in the UFC was against Corey Anderson by KO in the first round. Corey Anderson did not finish nobody, bro, especially in the TKO, so it's bad. After that, lost to Thiago Santos by decision. I don't know how this fight went to decision, but it did. And then in the first round, he got absolutely smoked by Jamal Hill. It was overhand. The overhand wasn't even that crazy. It landed like on the forehead, and Johnny Walker, he felt like a cartoon character and everything. Yeah, we know, but the chin is just not there, and I just can't trust it. Also, there's been a lot of weird rumors about Johnny Walker, like him being with a 14-year-old, 15-year-old. So it has been proven that he did not know that she was 15. I'm pretty sure she's even said that she was 18 or whatever. So he isn't a creep because of that, but he does have a wife. So do with that what you will. I'm not going to be talking too much about the situation, but I did mention it because there was a lot of hate about that. So maybe his mind isn't completely there. Maybe his mind is, with the problems that he has at home and whatever. But what I do know is that John Anik will have a blast with this type of information. So John Anik, if you're seeing this, you're welcome. But yeah, in my opinion, let's just go to the prediction. In my opinion, Magomed Ankalaev will win this fight. He will win by... He may win by decision, but like 5 rounds, I feel like at some point he'll just get a few good shots of ground and pound going after a takedown, after controlling him in the first and the second, and in the third he'll just get some ground and pound going and knock him out that way. So yeah, that is it. Let me go over the fights once again, you guys. I'm going with Tom Nolan. I'm going with Joshua Vaughn, John Silva, Farid Basharat, Marcus McGee, Parsons, Waldo, Ferrera, Simone, Fier, Miller, Cup, and Magomed Ankalaev. So that was it, you guys. Thanks so much for watching. If you have any suggestions of other content I should do, let me know. Follow, like, comment, share, whatever. Thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.